Hello everyone, it's me Benjamin from Benjamin's Outdoor Adventures, and I'm kind of excited. Today's video is my first attempt at a historical fishing video, or recreation of an historical fishing video. This right here in my hands is my attempt at recreating a 17th century fishing kit. Now, 17th century fishing kits, they didn't have the big rod and reels that we do today. Also, they didn't use the monofilament and fine braid that we have today as well. No. They typically use a large willow, hazel, basically any bendy flexible wood. Now, ash was good for the handle when they had a long segment made of anything else like hazel, hickory. Not really hazel, but still. So I'm going to take one of them tree limbs there from that willow, cut it down, and use it on this. Now let's take a look inside of it, shall we? Alrighty, here it is. I used an old tin I had. It was a hemp soap tin. It gets a good light. Whether they had tins like this back then, I'm not entirely sure. Oh, and fun fact, the very first known fishing guide was written by a nun called Juliana Berners in, I believe, 1400s, 1300s? Somewhere around there. And she describes having different colored lines to hide in the water. I'm going to try them out. Now, typically you'd have some lines like this made of either things like hemp, horsehair, linen, and then more recently in the Americas, sometimes they use cotton for lighter fish, but not for all fish. And then on the leaders, I got a gorge hook and a modern hook. I have some pin hooks I made and a block of beeswax. For leaders, they use things like silk, very fine horsehair, and a few other things. Primarily because they were stronger and they needed something thinner. Kinda cool, huh? All placed to a block of wood. Now, maybe you're wondering why the beeswax. That's because they would wax their line so it wouldn't get wet, get ruined, or break. All of these lines waxed, I think. Since it's a nice green and brown lake, we're going to use the green line. And here's some of our pin hooks, homemade pin hooks I made. And I did have hooks like this, no bigger than my fingertip. They did have hooks that small, so I can get away with that hook, just they didn't have quite the well. They didn't have the ability to make teeny tiny eyes. So it'd be false eyes and hook bends and spades. Spade shanks on the hooks. Come on. There you go. This tin is thickety. Now, I got a good sized knife. Let's see which branch we can cut, which limb we can cut down. Now, my knife isn't historically accurate. To any degree, it's an Ozark knife I got at a pawn shop. Because all my historically accurate knives have disappeared on me. Let's go with this tree right here. It's good size. It's about 12 feet long. And there we go. Shave off all this extra stuff. I've been wondering why they had such long poles between 8 to like 12 feet. That's because they didn't have reels and they couldn't cast as far as one might think, so they had to have something to make up for it. Got this Y here. And to all the pansies out there who's probably cussing me out, thinking I just destroyed a tree, that's the main body of the tree. Its roots are coming up and everywhere. So I'm not hurting it or anything like that, and willow's a fast-growing tree. I think right about here is where we'll have our line. There we go. Try to get all that little tuft cut. Now, and back then they had two types of fish, and coarse fishing and fine fishing, from what I remember. Coarse fishing is what we're going to try to do today using bait of any kind. And in Juliana Berner's book, The Treatise of Fishing with an Angle, written in 1400s, I believe, she talks about different types of baits to use, how to make fly, fly lures and all kinds of things. How to make your hooks and all kinds of stuff. She was actually a very intelligent person. The water seems kind of brown greenish, so yeah, we want to use the green. Now they probably used a darker green, not this bright green I have. Take these two things out. She also spoke of securing the line all the way down your pole, I think. By the way, trying to read a 14th century manuscript that's been translated is interesting, to say the least. Alright, here's our string we're going to attach. Let's get to it, shall we? Okay, right there. Wax linen and wax cotton is kind of interesting to deal with. Go right here. You tie it off at the first section. And then we go up a couple feet. Now they say to tie it off at multiple sections so it doesn't break. So if the tip of the rod breaks on you, you can still have it attached to your pole. She also talks about using elder floats and other things. How to make a bobber out of cork, eldar, and a few other things. Now here comes the tip. And from what I can tell, she was one of the earliest people to observe how fish handle barometric pressure. Now we just unfurl the rest of our line. They wouldn't really cut the line down unless they needed to. And the line should be as long as your pole, if not just a hand further. That's about a 10-foot pole there, 9 to 10 feet. Alrighty then. Now, just to keep it a little bit simpler, I'm going to wind up a bit more around the tip. And we're taking its little spindle here and putting it back in our pocket. Wrap it about a foot. It's okay if the line touches the ground. It's wax, it will handle it. And I am using pure beeswax. Alrighty then. We got our main line attached to the body of the fishing pole. Now it's time to attach the leader. Uh-oh. We don't want our line to be tangled here now, do we? Sorry for dropping out of camera. I'm not quite used to having a chest-mounted camera. I already know. Put this sucker down. And let us go for our leader. Where is it? I know it's in my pocket here. Is it? No. Oh, it's my chest pocket. Right on button, damn you. There you go. I believe this leader shall do finely. It's made from a very fine thread, and this thing's pretty long too. And now we must tie the ends together. There's multiple ways of doing this. I'm going to do it the simplest way of 2 box knots and 2 slipped box knots. Oh shit. Of course, that happens to me. There we go. And they'd probably tie something like a piece of lead to the end, or have some bait. Unfortunately, the worms are not liking today, so I couldn't find any. So I did bring some plastics with me. I know, not historically accurate, but that's all I got. And we're wondering about that stuff in the center. This originally was a soap container for a hemp soap. Come on, get on there. I think this container's good enough. Now you got a little fake foodie on it. Let's see about 9 cast. Oh shit. It's kind of like fly fishing. And according to the manuscript, you must hide yourself so that your shadow does not cast, for it may spook a fish. Oh. Something may have popped it. And you see how the line just hangs on the water? Oh, oh, oh. Something's tugging, something's tugging. I'm basically just fly fishing at this point. I just had one. And it came off right when I turned off the camera. Uh-oh. Got tangled up. Yeah, this will happen too. That's all right. Just keep fishing. Something was on it. Holy crap. I wish we were recording when I caught him. I didn't even know he was on. We got one, everyone. Finally. It's okay, little guy. I got the hook out of your mouth. 17th century fishing. There we go. Hey, it's okay, it's okay. He's more of the size of bait than a cat keeper. But there's plenty of fish like this in the pond, in which we can try old school fishing tactics on and not harm. Beautiful little guy. Now let's release him. Be free. Alrighty. I just wanted to catch one fish today on that setup. So, thanks for watching. Stay safe. Have fun. And more historical videos to come soon. Also, I'm not a great editor, so there might be a few things.